Hi students, in this video I will teach you the refraction of light through a prism. Before, in my previous video I have taught you the refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab. So today I will discuss the refraction of light through a prism. Now you can see this one diagram of prism which is there in your screen. It is appearing in your screen. See there, it is a 3D actually, but I could not make it 3D for you, so you have to manage with the 2D. See, there are what is a prism? First you should understand what is a prism. A prism is a refracting transparent medium bounded by 5 plane surfaces. See in this diagram, there are 5 plane surfaces you get in this diagram. See, there are 2 refracting rectangles which is shown above. See, in one is there in the right hand side, another is there in the left hand side. See, the name of these refracting surfaces are A, C, F, D. This is one which is appearing towards you, and at the back of this another is there which will be coming in this 3D effect. You can see along with that the animated prism is shown over there. See over there, another side is that side, and you can see also one rectangular surface is there at the base which is basically grounded. So therefore 3 rectangular surfaces you will be getting and 2 triangular surface. So total it become how many surfaces? 5 surfaces. 3 rectangular surfaces and 2 triangular surfaces. These 2 rectangular surfaces present on either side which is shown over there, and in the red color it is shown also refraction occurs on this face. In which face the refraction occurs? The refraction occurs in the rectangular surfaces. The name of these surfaces, once again I am saying, one is appearing towards you, A, C, F, D. You can see that one, and there is a refracting edge. You see the AD, and a triangle which is shown there, ABC. It is the principal section of the prism. Whenever we draw the ray diagram, we take this principal section for the ray diagram of the prism. So, and the angle between 2 refracting surfaces is known as the angle of the prism, which is denoted by the symbol A. Remember, the angle of the prism is denoted by the symbol A, and this is the angle formed between the 2 rectangular surfaces. Here the 2 rectangular surfaces incline at some angle, and that is known as the angle of the prism. Let us see now, when a ray of light, a monochromatic ray of light enters the principal section or enters the prism, how the refraction is taking place. Now I will show you with the help of the diagram. Just see in the board. Now see over there, this is a triangle. I have taken ABC is the triangle. This is generally the principal section of the prism, and this angle is angle of the prism which is denoted by the symbol A. A ray of light striking the first surface of the prism. See, there are 2 surfaces and this is the base. A ray of light, that is OP, it is the monochromatic light ray. Therefore, it is mentioned there green light, and this green light strikes the point P in the first surface of the prism. And after striking, how the ray of light will bend from here? Since the ray of light is coming from from rarer to the denser medium, it is coming from air to the glass. This is your air medium, this is your glass. So when the ray of light comes from air to glass, means it is coming from the rarer medium to the denser medium. Then you know that when the ray of light moves from rarer to the denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Therefore, at this point, the ray of light will be bending towards the normal. This is the normal which is drawn. So therefore, the light ray is moving along this direction and strikes the second surface of the prism. The name of the second surface is AC. At that point, say PQ. This point is Q. And here, to know the ray further, we draw a normal. So let us draw a normal over there to know how the ray of light will move. So I am drawing a normal here. This is the normal. Now here the ray of light is going from which medium to which medium again? It is going from glass to air. And when the ray of light moves from glass to air, then it moves away from the normal. Therefore, the ray of light is going along this direction. So this is the emergent ray. Therefore, this is your incident ray. This light OP is the incident ray, PQ is the refracted ray, and Q say R is the emergent ray. And the angle of incidence here, since this is the incident ray, which will be the angle of incidence? This will be your angle of incidence. Say this is your I1 is the angle of incidence. And this will be your angle of refraction in the first surface. Say this is your R1. Now when this light falls on the second surface, this light PQ ray becomes the incident ray for the surface SC. Therefore, this angle will become incident angle for this ray PQ. Say it is your R2. Now, when the ray of light is going towards QR, then finally it is forming a angle that is known as the angle of emergence, angle between the normal and the emergent ray. So this is your angle of emergence. Say this is your I2. So you saw now this is the angle of incidence I1 and I2 is the angle of emergence. R1 is the angle of refraction in the first surface, whereas R2 is the angle of incidence for this ray PQ ray on the second surface. Now when this ray is moving, see how the ray is falling over there, how the ray OP is striking over there. The ray OP is striking obliquely. It is not striking normally, it is striking obliquely. Since it is the monochromatic light ray, therefore further the ray which is coming, this is also the monochromatic. I have given there therefore a green light. Now when this ray is striking here, then it is bending towards this side. Think that if the prism would not have been placed there, then where this ray would have gone? It would have gone along this dotted line which is shown. Now due to the presence of the prism, the ray is deviating and it is moving along this side. So over here the angle of deviation is produced. Say this angle of deviation is your delta 1. Say this is your delta 1. And when this ray is striking here, then again the deviation is produced. Say this is the actual path of the ray. If you produce this light in the backward direction, then this light is coming like this. Here also the deviation is produced. This is the actual path and this is your path of the light ray which is supposed to go. So therefore here the another deviation is produced, that is your delta 2. This angle of deviation is your delta 2. So now what is the net deviation of the light ray is happening here? This is the original path of the incident ray. If suppose the prism would not be there, then the incident ray would have gone along this direction. And this is the final emergent ray. Now how much deviation is produced? Produce this final emergent ray in the backward direction. Wherever it meets, if you produce this, where it is meeting the initial path of the incident ray, this angle is the angle of deviation of the prism. This angle is the angle of deviation, which is generally denoted by the symbol delta. So here the angle of deviation is delta. Now what is the angle of deviation? The angle between the incident ray produced forward and the emergent ray produced backward is known as the angle of deviation, and which is denoted by the symbol delta. See over there, this is the symbolic representation of the angle of deviation. This delta is equals to delta 1 plus delta 2. So if you add this deviation with this deviation, then we get the magnitude of delta. And now I will show you the relationship between the angle of incidence, angle of emergence, angle of prism and angle of deviation. They are related as, see the relationship between I1 plus I2 is equals to A plus delta. So this is the relationship between angle of incidence, angle of emergence, angle of prism and angle of deviation. Here I1 stands for angle of incidence, and I2 stands for angle of emergence, and A stands for angle of prism, whereas delta stands for angle of deviation. So this is the relationship between angle of incidence, angle of emergence, angle of prism and angle of deviation. So in the next class I will teach you the factors affecting the angle of deviation. Thank you.